Hi everybody, it's Kim O'Rourke. I'm the recycling coordinator for the city of Middletown, and welcome to Recreation Recycles. It's January 2022, and today we're at our new business, our new Middletown business that focuses on refilling and zero waste. It's called Reboot Eco. It's at 131 River Road in Middletown. It's right on the corner of River Road and Walnut Street. It's about a half a mile, less than a half a mile from Main Street. And it's a great new shop where you can come and refill products instead of buying new products and getting all those plastic bottles that we're trying to reduce the use of. So let's go inside and see what's going on in here. Yasmin, hi.
Hi.
So thanks for having us here today.
Welcome. Always happy to have you.
We are so excited, and I actually have some bottles to refill.
My favorite.
But we're here, so this is a video for the Middletown Recreation Department, and we want to introduce everybody to your new store. Awesome. But first I'd like to know if you can tell people why you came up with this idea and why you think it's so important.
Well, I guess I found myself over the past, 2 years starting to identify more and more, problems with plastic and waste and, our culture of convenience and all of these things. And last winter, kind of towards the end of 2020, I really started to seek out, alternatives and ways that I could, more significantly reduce my waste and just, non-recyclable, items that were ending up in the landfill. And I was just becoming, coming more to terms with all of that. And I realized that zero waste shops and refill shops were a thing that existed out in the world. A lot, in Europe, in New Zealand, in South Africa, and all kinds of areas, and even around the United States, just not really in our area, not in Connecticut, and not really anywhere, close by. So I thought, well, I know I'm not the only one that wants to, reduce plastic waste and just reduce waste in general. And I just wanted to be able to offer a resource because I wanted a resource. I wanted to be able to go somewhere and learn about other options and find sustainable swaps and just ideas and guidance. So I built it.
That's amazing, and I am so happy that you did. So tell us about some of the products. So we're going to talk about the refill products, but also you have some other pretty neat stuff in this shop. So what else do you have?
I do. I love the refill stations. Obviously, my favorite aspect, and I built everything kind of around that. But there's lots of other, hacks and sustainable swaps, I like to call them, that help with just reducing waste, right? So it's not just about finding other ways to, refill household cleaners and bath products, but it's silicone snack bags, right? Silicone bags or washable fabric items, so unpaper towels or, fabric garbage bags or fabric washable sponges or reusable snack bags that are also laundry safe. We've got all kinds of local items, those soaps that are sustainably made that don't have any harmful toxic ingredients and don't have any packaging that can't either that isn't biodegradable or just no packaging at all, right? Things like deodorants in glass jars or in biodegradable push-up packaging, all kinds of things. And like I said, Connecticut, lots of Connecticut-made products, trying to keep it as local as possible, since that's really important too, right? Not only to support the local economy, but to support all the various other folks that are really, brilliantly finding alternative ways to package, finding alternative ways to make, create necessary products, things that we use all day, every day. So just trying to make it a one-stop shop and, offer folks alternatives.
Very cool. So how do you decide what kind of products to put in your shop?
Well, a lot of the things started out with, what do I need? What do I want, right? And I thought, okay, well, let's see how weird I am. It turns out I'm not really as weird as I thought. Lots of other people were very into the things that I got. So, it started with things like toothpaste tablets. Okay, so there are a bunch out there. Well, first, it's finding the ones that are made as locally as possible, right? So if not the US, are they made in Canada? And a lot of the things that we can't find in the US, Canada is a little bit, has been a little bit ahead of the game on the zero waste concept and things. So there are some things that come out of Canada. But first, it's finding things as locally as possible and making sure there's no toxic ingredients, there's no animal testing. Ideally, vegan as much as possible or necessary. And then, you know, if I can find it in Connecticut and it's a good quality product made by folks that are like-minded and you're looking kind of at all the necessary bases, then that's how I go. But so it's kind of a, you know, there's a lot of research necessary, which is why I'm trying to offer this service, right? Because for each individual to do all the research for each individual thing and then to order each individual thing from each individual website or business or space, it's too much, it's overwhelming, and this is why folks give up and they abandon ship because it's just too much. So trying to make it easy. So I've had the time to slowly grow, so I've had a chance to kind of do that research for each individual product and then carry it and then see if it works, if people like it. So it's finding things that are not only easy and still convenient, non-toxic, you know, that appeal to all those various important factors, but you know, the convenience and ease and having it be something that's not too far from what they're already using, right? So trying to consider all those factors.
That's awesome. And really helpful. I think that's really helpful for people. And you're absolutely right. The research alone of trying to figure out what's good, what isn't good. So it's really nice to have you do that, and then we can feel good about it.
Right. And I always take feedback too, right? So things that you've mentioned that you want or have liked or have found somewhere else that that you're a fan of or that you're, so I always appreciate and embrace any feedback that I'm able to get from any of the customers and folks that we have. So that helps. Great. Lots of input.
Yeah,
it's a community effort.
That's good. That's good. So one of the things that we do on our videos here is I usually like to demonstrate something. And what I would like to do is show, like refilling is kind of a new thing here anyway, not necessarily around the world, but here it is. So I'd like to take someone through as to how they would actually refill something. How does it work?
Absolutely.
So they come in.
Yep.
And what do we do?
So they can bring any container at all from home, right? So any container, any plastic, Tide jug, for example, or a mason jar, an old spaghetti sauce jar, a bottle, as long as it has a top and it's clean and it's able to be closed, they can bring it in. We also have glass jars and bottles for sale, or we always have jars that have been donated, that have been, cleaned up and that are repurposable, that they're able to grab for free. So there's lots of options. So we come on over to the refill station. We will be dealing with a scale. So we will be switching over to a scale where folks can then weigh their container before they then, pick the product that they want for refilling. At the moment, we're still doing by volume, which has been working for us, as we were a mobile operation. So then we fill up. We were able to, usually the jars are labeled, or we're able to determine what the volume is. We fill up and that's it. It's very easy.
Okay.
All right, so Kim has brought a container that she uses for laundry. And the laundry detergent is one of the items that I have in these refill boxes that are here. And these are really easy to handle. So these are the kinds of things that if folks are, happy to fill the container themselves, they're able to. The spouts are, easy enough to manage. Some of the other containers that I have, we're still working out, some of the ideal pumps and tops. So I still am happy to be here to assist folks. I've been, pouring and filling containers now on the road for the last 8 months or so. So I'm happy to be here to kind of support folks in filling their containers. So for example, the all-purpose cleaner is in one of these gallon jugs. So this guy, because we don't have a good pump for that quite yet for folks to refill themselves, I'm happy to just, help folks out when they come in and, and we'll see. And then we just fill these guys up. Kim and I already know how big these containers are, so we know what the volume will be when it comes time to checking out. So minimal spill. You can see it happens. Cleaning up cleaning products is, pretty easy as cleanup goes. And voila, all good.
So that's pretty easy. So people can either bring in their own container, or they can use one of your containers.
That's right.
Or your repurposed containers.
That's right. We have a nice shelf right by the refill station that contains all of our repurposed jars and such. We're always welcoming new donations as long as they're clean jars. A lot of us that carry a lot of, that hold on to a lot of jars at home find ourselves all of a sudden kind of, overwhelmed by jars. So I'm happy to accept them as long as they're clean and have a top. I'm happy to have them because then they're a free option for other customers.
Awesome. All right, great. So that's pretty simple.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Yasmin, for joining us today.
It was a pleasure.
Appreciate the tour around the shop and learning about refills. And everybody out there should come on down and bring your containers and refill them up because it's definitely a more sustainable way to go. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back next month with another episode of Recreation Recycles. Bye, everybody.